According to the American Association of University Women, only 5.4% of doctorates are awarded to Black students, and there are more than a dozen fields that to this day still do not have a single Black doctoral recipient. And as we've heard in the news recently about the challenges Black women face in higher education, I decided to sit down with Dr. Nicole Telfer, a postdoctoral scholar at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, to learn more about the challenges Black women face in higher education and why she decided to write a couple of books about how to excel and succeed as a Black woman pursuing a doctorate degree. Here's more of our conversation. You have authored and co-authored two books that people can purchase off of Amazon. The first is Black Woman, A Black Woman's Guide to Earning a PhD, Surviving the First 2 Years. And the second book you co-authored is titled Our Doctoral Journey, A Collection of Black Women's Experiences. Why did you think it was important to publish these books?
Comes to racism or discrimination or sexism, um, all influenced my decision to write that first book as a guide for Black women who are interested in pursuing higher education but may not have the tools to do so. But I also just wanted to call attention to like these are the experiences that I've encountered. And I'm not saying that this is a universal experience for all Black women, but I just want to call attention to these. And surprisingly, so many testimonials of Black women and women of color feeling seen and heard from me sharing my experiences and saying I can't even count on my hands how many times I've heard I've experienced these same things, and I'm so happy that to know that I'm not alone. Like these experiences are devastating, but it's good to know that it's not just me going through these. And so I guess that led me to create a space where other Black women can share their experiences.
So recently in the news, we've heard a lot about Black women's experiences in higher education, and two stories in particular. I know there are countless stories that happen every day, but two that have really made mainstream news organizations is the first is the resignation of Harvard University president Dr. Claudine Gay after public outrage about her comments at a congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism last month. We also sadly heard about the death of the former vice president of student affairs at Lincoln University, Dr. Antoinette, who also went by Bonnie Kendia Bailey, who died by suicide. And her family has told reporters that she had a really strained relationship with the president of the university before her tragic death. And I wanted to know, especially as you've written these books and your own experiences, what was your initial reaction after hearing this news?
Yeah, I mean, it was triggering for me. I first learned about the hearing with Dr. Gay on Twitter, and it was really hard to watch that hearing. Just how the title of her article that she wrote for the New York Times, I believe, her resignation is bigger than her, and it just speaks to the fact that people couldn't stand the fact that a Black woman was running one of the nation's oldest institution. People tried to discredit her work and say all these things about her engaging in plagiarism, but um, I think Dr. Gay had an amazing track record of being a successful academic. These things, just seeing these things happen, was a trigger for me, especially because I have had um, desires to one day be a president of a university. And then with Dr. Bailey, um, it was also triggering, and it was even more triggering to learn that the very same um, things that she studied in her dissertation led to her dying by suicide. Her dissertation focused on like sociocultural factors that Black women face when it comes to them holding positions in senior level, um, in holding senior level positions, and to just know that um, these were her lived experiences were very troubling.
What would you say are some possible solutions to the challenges that we've talked about that Black women face in higher education?
There has to be um, a movement to specifically center the experiences of Black women, whether that be creating support groups for Black women in higher education and academia. Something critical has to be done within the institutional level. Um, Something that will center the well-being of Black women, especially given these recent events. Like we knew these were happening, but now these are like national um, events that has caught many folks' attention, and I think that it should also call attention to the need to do something at the institutional level for sure.
What advice would you give to a young Black woman that is interested in pursuing either a PhD or master's, but is honestly on the fence and not sure if this is the path she wants to go on, especially after hearing about the stories that we've discussed and about maybe other people's negative experiences in the academy? How would you encourage her?
I would tell her to think more on her why. We all have a why, and I would tell her to, if she hasn't thought about it before, sort of sit down and jot down the reasons why she wants to pursue higher education, despite these various social harms that and challenges that we hear and that we experience. Don't let them folks stop you.